So guys, the governorship candidate for the PDP in Lagos State is giving Babajide Sanwolu a very tough time. You know, he's saying that he forged his WAEC certificate, and all of a sudden, WAEC uploaded Babajide Sanwolu's result on their portal, and this was shocking. So the court has to subpoena WAEC to bring a backup copy of Sanwolu's WAEC certificate, but you can see WAEC is refusing. My people, they've got something to hide. We are still struggling with Tinubu's Chicago University certificate issue, and this one is also coming up. What is it that will not see in the hand of these our politicians? Everybody is desperate for power, whether they are qualified or not, you know. And the worst part is that they will keep telling lies to INEC. They will tell INEC, I sat for this, I have this certificate, even when they can't even prove it. So WAEC should come and prove that Babajide Sanwolu really sat for this WAEC. And you know, they were nowhere to be found. So guys, you can see what is happening. Talking about politics in Nigeria, we all know that our president Tinubu went to Paris, and from there he went to the UK. He was back to Nigeria. My people, come and see. Convoy, I mean, number of cars that were following just our president at this time that many Nigerians cannot even eat. I mean, more people are thrown into poverty. Look at, so many people cannot even afford, you know, a liter of fuel. Look at the hard times Nigerians are going through. Some people cannot even afford 3 square meals. But look at what our politicians are doing. They are playing with taxpayers' money. These are taxpayers' money. Look at how they are wasting it. After all the money that Buhari borrowed and left for us to pay, look at what this government is doing. They are talking about cutting down the cost of governance. It's not even getting to them at all. They are not understanding that language at all. So guys, let me allow you just watch this video yourself.
The president arrived the country on Tuesday after his first official trip abroad. His plane touched down at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos around 5:10 p.m. He was received by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwolu, Femi Gbajabiamila, Chief of Staff to the President, Kayode Egbetokun, the Acting Inspector General of Police, and Nuhu Ribadu, the country's National Security Advisor, among others. Upon his arrival, the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army, as well as personnel from the Nigerian Navy and Nigerian Air Force, mounted a guard of honor for him, while the standing troop of the Lagos State Council of Arts and Culture provided entertainment. Well, Tinubu left the airport and headed to his residence at Leone in a large convoy with the Lagos State Governor. Well, a video of the convoy elicited several reactions on social media. Let's take a look before we take some reactions.
Jagabanu, go there. Jagabanu, go there, go there, go there, go there, go, 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 go. Chop up, chop up, chop up, chop up,
Jagabanu. Well, all right, let's take some reactions. This is from a sports doctor who wrote, even Joe Biden of the United States doesn't move around with over 100 vehicles in his convoy, but let's keep hailing Jagaban, poverty capital of the world, spending like they own the world while their citizens suffer untold hardship. While Oluwa wrote, The president's convoy isn't this long. Why this convoy is that long and heavy is because of the number of dignitaries escorting the president on his home visiting as a president. Well, governors, speakers, reps, members, senators, service chiefs, etc. That's why the convoy is this long. Well, Niger Delta Road. Ribadu left his office in Abuja with entourage and taxpayers' fund to fly to Lagos to meet a man whose office is in Abuja. These are the people telling you to bear 500 naira per litre of fuel and 40% increase in electricity. Well, Dr. Bati, over to you, because I know that you have been around the president and presidents. I would like another opinion besides the opinions of some of the Twitter analysts. I always use that word.
I think because of the hardship in the country.
Absolutely.
People are very sensitive about anything that appears a bit conspicuous.
Yes.
And this is not the first time that Nigerians will talk about convoy. We often complain when there is VIP movement, whether it's the president or anybody else, because the airspace will have to be shut down. Traffic will have to be blocked in certain parts. So people are always very sensitive when they see convoy, particularly when it is the convoy of the president. However, this has to be put in context. And I think it's that Oluwashola that put his or her finger on it when, the person wrote that, look, this is not just only the president's convoy. No Nigerian president goes about with 120 cars, as some people are claiming. I don't know who counted the vehicles one by one anyway, because I've seen some people say, 120 vehicles.
Yeah, this was a 2-minute long video.
Yeah,
so
but it's not possible. You will stay by the roadside and you will be counting the number of vehicles in the convoy. But what Oluwashola was telling us is that, look, there are so many other dignitaries involved. The governor of Lagos State will have his own convoy that will follow behind. The Inspector General of Police was also mentioned as one of the persons there. The National Security Advisor was also mentioned. Other service chiefs were there. And there are also smaller big men. Because I saw some of them with
I would love some clarification on that.
Smaller big men. I saw some smaller big men.
Big men levels.
Big men again levels. The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, I cited him.
So are people like that, smaller big men?
All these dignitaries, they will follow the president back to his residence as he arrived. And don't forget, this will be President Tinubu's first visit to Lagos since he went to Abuja to assume office as president of Nigeria. So for his supporters, it was a special meaning. They say, City Boy is coming back home to do Salah. And then it's a festive season also. When next he visits Lagos, you may now have that kind of crowd, visiting that much, of a crowd. And you see ordinary people even went to the airport to receive him, and they were hailing him. So for the people of Lagos, for his supporters, it's some kind of festival. And during the festival of sacrifice, they welcomed him from abroad. The second leg of it is the statement that he has issued on the occasion of the Eid al-Adha. And we've made the point that, the three parts that we identified earlier on, that is important, that is sending across a message of hope, that it is important, that is reminding everyone of the essence of the Eid al-Adha, and also at the same time reassuring all of us as Nigerians that he will work day and night, and he has started working day and night. It's a very tough job he has.
Yes.
I hope he finds time too to relax.
Yes.
Because if you work day and night, you will break down. But I thought he meant that in a metaphorical manner, to say that we address the challenges that may come up.
Yeah, I thought that his message was quite refreshing. But Dr. Bata, I also want to ask you about the 81 vision of the Army and also the Navy, as well as, all those people that came by to receive the president.
The movement of the president of Nigeria is a security movement.
Okay. So this is what's going to happen moving forward.
You will find the police, you will find the military providing, security for him.
No, I meant receiving him at the airport.
Well, yes, they go there. These are, his officers.
Okay.
They go to the airport. It's not as if they will send a battalion there.
It looked like the
But
parade.
maybe it's a parade.
Was the parade necessary?
That's what I was asking.
Well, they don't.
It's
Was the parade necessary?
They don't have this elaborate parade.
That's what
That's
I was
a shocking
asking.
thing.
That's why I'm asking you.
And that's why
actually,
I was saying, maybe because this is his first visit to Lagos, you have this big ceremony. I don't think they will have this big parade every time, but there will always be a guard of honor.
Right. Really?
There will always be a guard of honor.
Absolutely.
When the president arrives, it may not be this elaborate, but he will always inspect a guard of honor.
Okay.
Either when he's traveling or when he's returning.
Yeah, well, I liked his Salah message, and I love the fact that he talked about the less privileged. But, we've been talking about reducing the cost of governance. We're seeing this parade, we're seeing the convoy, but, you cannot help it but say, how are we going to even cater for people when we are basically, what was Punch reporting this morning? We're going to be about 101 million poor people.
7.1 million will join us.
This is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
Yes.
But before I come to you, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday morning joined other Muslims faithful in Lagos to observe the Eid al-Adha prayers at the former State House in Dodan Barracks, Obalende. President Tinubu prayed for Nigeria's peace and encouraged citizens not to give up yet on the nation as the future ahead remains promising.
Nigeria will see peace, stability, and God will grant peace to those of us who are in the war front. We spare their life, we give them victory. Those in the hospitals, we give them succor and peace, and keep them in good health. Path to recovery. So he will just be spiritually uplifting. Have faith. Allah is there.
All right, Rufai, the president has said that the future is promising, that we should have faith. Over to you.
The truth is, the president definitely will always put out a message of hope out there, and we should be hopeful because despite things are sad for us now in our country, we should constantly be hopeful. But the thing about hope is this. I think it was Francis Bacon that says, hope can be a good breakfast, but it's a very terrible supper. And we should be careful about hope. We should be cautiously optimistic about hope. We should not just hope, but we should do things that will make things work for Nigerians and just be selling hope. We want to see results. If you want to say let's hope for a better nation, give palliatives to people that are suffering. Not everybody can kill ram. Even if the small big men can kill ram and drive in convoys, or the smaller big men, using Dr. Abbas's word, can kill ram and drive in convoys, does not mean us that are not even men at all, let alone big men or smaller big men, can kill anything.
They've warned us about killing sick rams.
Because of anthrax. Yes. So let's be careful as regards that. But secondly,
if you put pepper, no anthrax.
But secondly, Oji, I wanted to give my opinion about that.
Absolutely.
Yes, I do. When I saw the convoy, I do not think it's the president's convoy that will be that long. We have to state the facts.
Yeah.
But the optics looks bad, and I'll tell you in two regards. Number one, so that's how much our government officials move around with government funds. I saw many SUVs there, and I was just calculating 45,000 naira to fill the tank of those SUVs. Mm-hmm. And you know how much we have to go out of government, but that car is too much. Taxpayers' money. Secondly, Oji, on top of that, there are no Nigerian-made cars in all of those convoys.
Oh, that's a good point.
So how do we grow our economy? When we don't have a lot of Nigerian-made cars in all those convoys, we are making cars in Nigeria.
Innocent, yeah.
Would you see the president of France drive another car from another country on his convoy? Will you see the president of Russia do the same? And these are part of the things we are saying. These guys should cut down on their costs. You see, because when poor men like us look, what we see is affluence.
Yes.
And just like your robberies on our face. Mm. And secondly, that military, what is it called? Parade. I thought it was too much.
I had to ask.
He's been sworn in, Dr. Abati. They've done parade for him on swearing in day.
They can't do this all the time.
If he comes to Lagos after swearing in, he should move home like other citizens. They should stop all this parade. It's too much. What is all of this? Let's call a spade a spade. things are hard. I keep saying, the sons of Issachar understood the times. Our politicians, they don't understand the times. Optics. You know what people will look at and say?
Absolutely.
So there was no need for all of that. Yeah, you can mount a small government, but there was no need for all of that parade. You should just come back, go home, and be thinking about this nation. And do it for a lot of people. I also hear that because it's our neighbor, Mr. President, I also hear they've declared in Bodilon, you know, that declaration goes there every year. Implications,
okay,
people are getting
declared in Bodilon. What does that mean? There's a new residence in Bodilon. Is that what you're talking about? What does it mean, please?
When they say declare,
yes,
it means that there's RSVP. You know what RSVP means?
I know what RSVP means when you have an invitation on a card.
Oh, you don't understand.
Please help us
RSVP means rice and stew very plenty. That's what we are saying.
But I drove around Bodilon today. I saw the Shiwaju residence. Again, a lot of people out there.
And that's the declaration I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I say. I hear they has declared for people. It's good as it's reaching out to the poor, but we need to do more for the poor. So we have acknowledged his declaration. A lot of people have gone there. They've gone to do RSVP, rice and stew very plenty, but we should do more for the poor, and all of this showing off is not too good.
I would love Ayo's beautiful analysis on all of this.
So he's president now. Yes. He's no longer just Jagaban or the Lion of Bodilon.
Jagabanu. It's changed now. Didn't you hear?
You heard that? So declarations will not suffice any longer, because what declarations do, in quotes, is that they keep people on that that leash of wanting to collect stipends at the expense of the national national benefit. So he's no longer Lion of Bodilon. Please, let's stop that. But beyond that, Oji, we're asking that, what's the whole, people coming around. It's also the opportunity for people to lobby.
Yes.
If I talk about sycophants, a lot. The president has not yet announced his ministers. Of course, people would almost lie on the floor and ask or put their best coats for him to walk on, because at this point, people are also looking, hopefully, to get some favors or some inroad into his government. But yes, we must say, what the truth has to be said. It's his first time back in the city of Lagos, the city that he talks about, having built, and the city that he has invested so much in. So let me use the opportunity, since he loves the city of Lagos so much, and since the governor was there, was that one of the things you see when you see convoys is red flags for traffic.
Yes.
Traffic. And I say this because the traffic situation in Lagos in recent times, because of the state of the roads, is deplorable. We have to bring this to their attention, and hopefully give us the gift during this Salah period of good infrastructure in the city of Lagos, the city of aquatic splendor, and the city that has produced the Federal Republic, the president.
But there were so many stories.
Very patriotic as a Lagosian.
But can you really blame Nigerians? There are so many stories. Even the fact that he didn't return right after, the summit. I mean, there's that picture of President Tinubu also. If you can pull up that picture of him and former President Muhammadu Buhari meeting in London. If you could recall, Dele Aleke had said that, he was going to return on Saturday, June 24th, after that Global Financial Pact Summit. And, we see that he had gone to visit the president there. So I guess that the former president is in London at this point. He can now go to London and stay as much as he. But again, there is another story that was trending recently. I am yet to confirm, because I sent a message to that Aminu Kano hospital, and they talked about the fact that their hours of electricity was going to be reduced from between, I believe, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I mean, in a hospital, because of the price of fuel. I mean, this is it.
Those are the things we are talking about.
These are Nigerians. I mean, how can this happen in Nigeria? We need to look into this, reduce the cost of governance to help this infrastructure and all of that. Well, all right. Let's head over now to Sierra Leone, where the incumbent president, Julius Maada Bio, was re-elected president after winning 56% of the votes cast to defeat his closest rival, Samura Kamara, of the All People's Congress, who trailed behind him with 41%. Julius Bio, a former coup leader, became Sierra Leone's president in April 2018 under his administration. Unemployment and high cost of living spurred violent protests in 2022. Kamara and the APC are challenging the outcome of the election, alleging lack of transparency and accountability by the country's Electoral Commission, and have vowed to reject what they describe as fake and cooked-up results until they reaffirm their victory. Well, on Monday, the chairman of the Electoral Commission, Mohammed Kone, had announced partial results of the election, raising concerns as to why the Electoral Commissioner was in such a hurry to announce an incomplete result for a crucial election that had put the country on edge, following reports of isolated critical incidents, including attacks on polling officials and political party agents, as well as harassment of police officers and police arrests. While the chairman of the Political Parties Regulation Commission, Abdullahi Bangura, earlier had urged politicians in the country to conduct themselves peacefully by taking a cue from Nigeria's Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Let's take a listen.
I have always referred to Peter Obi. When he lost the election, we all know the promise he held when the elections were being conducted, and almost everybody who is anything in Nigeria drew their support. But when the results came out otherwise, he didn't call his supporters to the street to wreak havoc. He took the legal path, and then by that way he was able to save his country from chaos. So we will encourage all of our politicians to learn from that example. Leadership is about self-restraint, and leadership is about selflessness. So we expect that our politicians will demonstrate this. I mean, the process has been peaceful so far, so let us continue to be peaceful and to promote the interests of our country. Thank you all.
Well, I think he spoke well. All we can urge Sierra Leoneans to remain peaceful and follow the process of, the courts, and make sure that they don't go out and protest. Because as you recall, go to court. Go to court. As you recall, in 2022, there was that protest, and people are, at this point, outraged.
For those supporting the APC, I don't know what you people see in APC. I mean, some of the youths that are still supporting this party that has crippled Nigeria, I don't know what you people see in this party. So guys, let me know what you think about all this. Just drop your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Bye.